Okay, so let's learn a little bit about the artist. Sydney B is one of the most creative and innovative artists to emerge from right here, Atlanta, Georgia. She's a singer and songwriter from a city with a rich musical history, as we all know, that has allowed her to create her own sound and style that sets her apart from other pop artists of the same genre. So, to be clear, she's a pop artist. She's 17, so she's just, trying to make her big debut. Having an unrivaled understanding of human nature, Sydney B can create music that can be considered rare and capture life elements in a way that few other artists can do in such a way. As a writer, she has a true gift for creating songs that are relatable to her fans and resonate with them deeply. Undoubtedly, Sydney B music always stands out because she always puts her own spin on things, whether it's writing for her fans about pursuing happiness, heartbreak, loyalty, or just hanging out with her girls. So her music's fun. So just keep that in mind and be attentive to the song. So I believe now, are we ready?
So don't be wasting your energy. So you say you love me, but no one above me. Wanna blow your cake on my sweet 16. What you wanna do that for? Like poof, and I'll be gone at the end of this. Hurry up, wake up fast. Boy, why you keep stalling?
Okay, so that was the first song, Dreamer. So now we're going to open up the floor to discuss what you all think about the production, lyrics, chorus, pretty much every element of the song. So would anybody like to speak first?
Hi, y'all. My name is Kat. Overall, super impressed. Just a few notes. I think the bass is a bit overdone. Her vocals should shine because she's a very beautiful voice. I love the chimes. I think those were a really good addition throughout. The cake on the Sweet 16 line went so hard, and I can relate. It was very Olivia Rodrigo-esque, which I think was executed absolutely perfect. I wish there were some more instrumentals, such as the guitar at the end. It was really beautiful. And also the end seemed to drag a bit. I think if you added more instrumentals, it could be much more efficient.
I'm Kim, Jules' mom. I think that the song was very appropriate, and I think that we need more of that out nowadays so that these children can really appreciate the innocence of being a child. It was simple. Like, everything doesn't have to be over the top. I love the song, and she was jamming, and she's, a child. So I thought it was great.
My name is Jewel, and what I really like about the song is the beat, and I know that she has a really beautiful voice. And like my mom said, it's really appropriate for kids to listen to.
Hey, what's up? This is Jamal J. Wills from the production. Said that was fire. On the content, said it's a vibe. The lyrics, they're on point. The hook is easy to remember, so that's always good. For her vocals, they were perfect, on point. Vocal arrangement, everything was great. Sound quality was on point. Overall, I like to hear it on the radio. I can see it in movies, like in a top playlist on Apple Music or whatever. I definitely can hear that in there. I would push for this song to be in the same mix of like Miley Cyrus, or I think whoever likes those songs would like this song too.
Hi, my name is Dion. I also really enjoyed this song. I have a couple bits of commentary. Kind of going positive, I think it's a song that can apply to a lot of things. Kind of like said before, I could hear this in movies, like coming of age movies at the beginning. I could definitely hear this on the radio. It fits squarely in like the 2014 time frame for me with like Katy Perry. It does feel slightly manufactured, like I could hear in the back of like a TV ad, but I don't think that takes away from the charm of it. There's not a lot of variation when it comes to energy in the song. It's very baseline good, which hence beginning of coming age. It's just a nice, fresh feeling. I didn't really feel much of an anticipation for the structure. The chorus didn't feel any more pushed than the verses did. I also would love to see some more instrumentation. I think that would help very much with that. Overall, I think this piece is really cool. I think the repetitiveness of the chorus is a great earworm. And to me, that's kind of the biggest thing in pop right now with our short form medias, with YouTube Shorts and TikTok, is getting an earworm.
Hey y'all, my name is Eris. I did not like this song. However, I do feel like I'm not the appropriate audience for this song. I definitely think it gave like Kids Bop, Radio Disney vibes, Sephora music, like Elevator. I also felt like the song just like a few notes. I think it had too much auto-tune, and I think that took away from me feeling like it was like good. It kind of gave me like very much off-brand 2012 Miley Cyrus. And I think as well, I didn't understand why there was a male background vocal. I did not like that at all. It didn't make any sense in the song to me. I was expecting maybe there would be a male feature or something. I feel like that voice just should have been female. The background vocals, like as far as layering and like really giving that inflection, I feel like she could have did more or made more specific choices in where she layered her voice so that it gave more of like emotional inflection. She said, I felt like it was very flat throughout the duration of the song. It was upbeat, but it was very like the same type of upbeat the whole time. But I feel like the production was good and like it sounded good, and I think like it would be good like on Radio Disney.
I'm Ian, and I really enjoyed this song. I thought the production was very good. I really liked the lyrics. I thought they were very much appropriate, like was mentioned earlier. Like this was a very simple concept, and I think she did it really well. My only thing is, I think that the runs and the hook are like the best and maybe like the worst part about the song, just because I feel like they can be very polarizing, just because I can see how like it can be super catchy for some, but also I can see how it might rub others like the wrong way.
No, cause you're thinking about me. No, late nights, tears in my eyes, thinking about the way we say goodbyes, but deep inside I can't deny that I'm missing you, baby, by my side.
Okay, so one more time, that song was called Arcade. So we're gonna go through the same kind of questions again, but this time we're gonna start with ratings.
3 out of 10.
10 out of 10. The sample from Girl from Ipanema at the beginning was everything. That was one of the first songs I learned on piano, and it's a classic.
I think it was a 6 out of 10. I just don't really think I'll probably listen to it on my own time.
I'd give it a 1. I'd also give it about a 3.
I probably do about a 7 out of 10.
I'd say about a 7 too.
I would give it about a 5 out of 10. I think it had potential.
We're gonna open up the floor to discuss the elements of the song, lyrics, flow, chorus, vocals, originality, sound quality. So would anybody like to go first?
Well, I feel like the song had potential. I just think she needs to work on choosing when to continue a melody and when to stop the melody. I felt like there were a lot of times where I felt like the song could have taken a really great direction, and then she kind of stopped it and then changed what she had going on. So it was like, it was too much going on, in my opinion. I think there were a lot of times where the melody should have been kept consistent, and then it would have been like a better song.
So it kind of gave me like that old school kind of feeling. Like, do I think it will hit with, people her age? No, not really. They're probably gonna, pass on that. But me, I jam out to that. I put a little bass in the car and I jam out to that. Overall, did you like it?
I loved it.
Loved it.
All right, I gave it a 3 out of 10, but my only reason was like the vocals, like the background vocals, they were kind of all over the place, kind of overpowering the main vocals. Couldn't really understand or follow what she was saying or what the song is about.
I'm gonna follow that. I think that was kind of my issue with the song. I actually really enjoyed like the beat, the arrangement, and the tonality of the song, but I guess the background vocals I will say were a little too loud because I kind of wasn't able to even like interpret what the lyrics were even about. So I was kind of finding a hard time kind of translating like the meaning of like arcade to like the actual song. So I couldn't really tie that together, so it didn't really give the song much meaning for me. So
I also gave it a 3, and I feel bad having a lot of commentary about it, but I have a couple of points. My first thing was the intro was very harsh, and not in like it was fast, which I think is okay, but everything kind of felt pulled and stretched away from each other. It didn't feel like a coherent song, kind of just felt like pieces were on top of each other. Except for the chorus, I felt like the vocals were kind of battling for attention with everything else. The beat's great. It's a low energy song, but I think that's intentional. But the main vocals weren't strong enough, in my opinion, and they were also a little high on the mix. The hi-hats that happened in the second verse took me out of trying to catch the lyrics. I don't think that's a bad thing when it comes to keeping the hi-hats in there, but they were just, I didn't expect that tone of hi-hat at all. And I think the chorus was poorly executed on the switching between the verse and the chorus, but the chorus itself was cool, had a cool pullback, kind of inverted structure. My biggest reason why I gave it a 3, though, is because it felt like the song wasn't finished. I felt like it stopped very abruptly. I think she could have done a lot more with what she was talking about, especially because, again, I couldn't find a narrative with the lyrics, maybe because I couldn't hear it, but that's also why it felt short, because I didn't feel that the narrative she was trying to tell with this song was done when the song finished.
So I don't really feel like this song showcased her vocals. This is not a record that I would want to hear on the radio. It's not something I would buy. I forgot what the young lady said, but she knew what that intro was. I didn't, so I kind of wanted her to clarify what that was, because I'm not gonna lie, the intro is fire. I thought the song was about to just be crazy, and then I was like, huh? Like, it just took a turn. I really thought it was about to crank. I really did, but it didn't. I think this is kind of like a throw-out record. Just like a record you just throw out just to have something out. But I do think that the song is very forgettable. And I don't remember anything but Arcade.
You were kind of saying this, so I want to give credit to Eris, but the girl from Ipanema just goes da 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 da, and so her vocals were following that structure.
Okay, excellent. I truly think that was a 10 out of 10. I mean, I've only heard one of her other songs. If I had to rate the other, I'd give it a 5, just average, because that's what it was. I think it was trying to accomplish, be at the credits of the next Barbie movie type of deal. I didn't even take fancy notes. Basically, I grew up on that song. My mother's from the Basque region of Spain, or her family is rather, so it has a really special place in my heart, and I love when artists, I don't know what the proper term is, but utilize the chord progression, because you cannot copyright, trademark, whatever, chord progression. I want more synth in the song, though. I think the synth that was in there was excellent and really added, including some more percussion would really add as well. There was some, I could hear it in the background, but bring it up a bit, maybe give it a bit more energy. I think take from the beginning at the end, that Girl from Ipanema sample, bring it back at the end to close it out would give a more kind of, start up high and taper out. I think the wordplay was absolutely excellent, and this wouldn't be a song you would go to a concert to hear, at least in my opinion. I don't think on stage it would, unless, when she's big, that could be like kind of in the middle there with little bossa nova dance vibe in the back. But overall, yeah, I think this, if she's 17 doing this, that is, my brother's 17 and he does cybersecurity, but this is a whole nother level.
Hi guys, I'm Sienna, and I think that Battlefield is a 10 out of 10.
I think this is a 9 out of 10. It's very good.
I think this one is a 7 too.
I think it's a good 8.5 out of 10.
I say an 8 out of 10.
I would give it a 9.5 out of 10.
I'm going a 4 out of 10. I thought it was very cliched. Like, I've heard this over and over and over again. Like, I just felt like I was going to Flashdance or Top Gun. It's a great beat. Don't get me wrong. It was, but it was just very cliche. There was nothing new to it for me.
I think it was a 8 out of 10. I liked the song, but I think like the beginning of the song, it was very loud and fast, and I think it settled down in the middle of the song.
Okay. I listen to a lot of jungle and rock and math rock and stuff, so this is a little bit up more at my alley. I agree. I think the beginning was very heavy-handed for just an intro. It made me think, if you guys know, I have a question. So we're talking about releasing singles, right? Okay, because I feel like this would be the intro makes sense if it's if you're creating an album and there's some type of like build for the song prior, but it's very harsh just as a single. I think the voice had a lot of autotune on certain parts of it that kind of drew from her vocal quality. I loved the backing track and the ad-libs and the little high things that were happening. It was really cool. It's very repetitive, gets an earworm in there. I do kind of agree with the like familiarity of it. I personally think it's a selling point, but I totally understand how it can kind of fit with just another song similar to it. I think the percussion needs to pull away from the verses. It's very strong, and I think the song has very high energy throughout that kind of takes away from the structure of the song. And if Sydney is going to listen to this, I really want them to look into jungle and breakbeat, because I think the percussion can be a lot more than just doonch, doonch, doonch. There can be some cool things in there, and that I was feeling it. And then at 1:14, I think, 1 minute 14 seconds, around that area, the energy feels like it's battling, like it's trying to be slow, but the percussion is still fast and the backing is still fast. So there's a little weird thing there, and that's the reason why it's a 9 out of 10 for me.
Okay, cool. So I think this song is a 10 out of 10. I think it's super fun. I like the high energy in the beginning. This is just a song that I feel like you just rock out to with you and your girlfriends. If you guys are just, I don't know, maybe you're out drinking. I don't know what you're doing. You could be at a party, a gathering, a girl's brunch. It's just fun. This is something I would buy. This is something I would like to hear on the radio. This is high energy all throughout. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but there's a group called Bastille, and they have a lot of like upbeat songs like this, and I just love those kind of records. It's really catchy. There's a part where she says, "Searching our hearts for so long," and it's like, "Searching our hearts for so long." I feel like I've heard that type of run like forever, but I don't think it gets old. I think that it is. The song is repetitive, but it's just fun. Like it is, I'm not bored with it. And I do think that out of all the songs that I've heard, I feel like this one does showcase her range more than the other records. I do think this is a performance record for sure. I feel like this would be one of the this is one that people would come to see her perform.
I actually really like this one. I did say that I think it definitely needs an intro. I think it just started off way too hard. And I do think that also it needs like fine vocal tuning, because I think at some points the auto tune is combating with the note that her voice is on, and it makes the song sound a bit whiny. Like her voice sounds whiny in some parts, but I genuinely think that's because the auto tune is not like hitting the mark where it's supposed to hit. But I thought it was really good. It was really cute, and I backpacking on what you said, I think that it was the one that sounded the most like unique to her sound, as opposed to like the other ones kind of sound like more copycat. Like for her and who she is, I felt like this was unique to her. I also felt like too, this was one of the songs that had way more range and like audience, where I feel like kids could listen to it, and like I was kind of jamming too. So
I really liked the vibe of this record. It kind of reminded me of like Blinding Lights by The Weeknd, kind of how that has like a nostalgic pop vibe to it. And I think while this is not a very original song, I think like that song, it kind of has that nostalgia that can kind of work as like a selling point for it. I loved how I felt like, especially in the hook, I felt like kind of like the synth, like the high end, and like the vocals were kind of like talking back and forth with one another. And I thought that was very, very done very well. And I thought that the bridge and the ending, kind of like how like there was like a break before that last hook, I thought that was very impressive and very well done. Kind of like what everybody else said, just the ending. I mean, not the ending, the beginning. The way the song starts, it's just a very abrupt, and it just doesn't really work for me. And I actually really, really do not like how the song starts. So that's just kind of my only critique to it. I definitely think it's a great idea, and I think that everything else is done well. I just think I need a little bit more of like a warm up or like an intro for the beginning, but that's it for me.
Yeah, the beginning was too freaking loud. Pat Benatar is rolling in her grave, although she's alive and well. Love her, that's why I know it. My mama raised me on classic rock and so forth and so on. It is too mumbly. I love this girl, but the battlefield is too much of a battle with the vocals in this. But the ending was done very well, especially the cut out and then cut in. Yeah, it's been done before a million times, but I think that's the shtick with it. It's really, it got the job done. My mama, my grandma, and I would listen to this going to Pensacola and would have a blast because they would think it's a new song, but it's actually old. Puts me in the warrior mode, and definitely it's going to be on the radio before much longer.
Till I found myself looking in the mirror, staring at someone I once knew. Hey, is that you? Looking back on all the memories. Is that you? Trying not to show your face.
Okay, so I give this song a 5. I don't think anything was particularly bad in this song. I think everything was pretty decent, like from the production. I do think the high-end synth was a little loud. I definitely would have liked to hear that a little bit softer. I mean, I think the lyrics were appropriate, somewhat basic, but that's not a horrible thing. They're just kind of simple. My issue with this song, I just don't think it really like builds or goes anywhere. Like in the verse, they'll like start with her vocals and no instrumentation, or very just the instruments with no drums, and they'll add like the kick, and then they'll build with like the bass. But then once they're like building this to the hook, it's like anticlimactic. Like it doesn't really go anywhere, and I just feel like the whole song is just kind of like this anticipation for something that's supposed to be big, and it just doesn't really like pan out the way that I think it's going to go. So that's kind of my issue with it.
Listening to just the lyrics of the song and seeing her age, I think it's completely appropriate. I think a lot of people can relate.
It was okay.
What is your rating?
7.5 out of 10.
I give it an 8 out of 10. She's like speaking about how you shouldn't look at yourself like in a bad way, and how like you should have more self-love. It's just like nowadays a lot of people, they'll just say anything, and I think she was really probably speaking on a situation that she had and how there should be more self-love.
I gave this song a 4 out of 10. The first chord, this is a side thing, but the first chord is the same chord as the first chord in Once I Was 7 years old. The song didn't really feel like the energy went anywhere. The chorus is not standalone enough for it to be memorable. It took me a little bit to figure out the structure of the song. The lyrics are basic. I don't necessarily think that that's something that takes away, but I don't remember anything besides the cool vocal effect with the "Is That You?" Very like early Daft Punk, which I like a lot. But it feels like it's trying too hard to be relatable. It feels very manufactured. I personally wouldn't listen to this song actively. I could hear it on the radio, but I would change it most likely.
Okay, so I do like the beat to the song. It kind of sounds like pop depression, but I think anybody who has battled depression could definitely relate, and a lot of teenagers go through depression. A lot of parents don't even know what teenagers are dealing with, and they do deal with stuff that's really deep just as an adult. So I do feel like this song is for her age group, and other people can relate to it as well. I just think that it's a super sad song, it doesn't even have like a good ending. To me, it's just sad. I think it sounds okay. This is not a record that I will buy. I don't think that they will play this on the radio. It sounds similar to another song. I can't really tell, honestly, if she's singing from her heart or not. I feel like I'm guessing, like when I think about it, just being asked a question on this paper. But I do feel like this song is something everybody can relate to.
I did not like this song. I'm gonna give it like a 2 out of 10. That is just personal preference. I just really hate depressing music, and I really just felt like the whole time it was just like her banging on herself and like, is this you? Like, is this really what you believe about yourself? And there was no resolution. Like, no, girl, that's not what you believe. It was like, is this you? And she like, yeah.
After hearing feedback, yeah, it's giving depression meets Thrilled, and that's weird. But she's 17. I have a 17-year-old brother, and I know exactly what her in production was trying to do with this. Piano at the beginning came in and then turned to synth and then turned into EO. So figure that out, maybe. Drum beat was good. The kick was really, really good. She hit up into the minor scale some, which I think she really hit those notes well. The song's obviously been done before a billion times since music was made, since Pat Benatar till Olivia Rodrigo, but she's enough. The song might not be, but that's just it. Production needs to work on it. Everything else, I think she hit. I mean, I'm 21. But I mean, I have cousins who are 8 who would love this. My brother would make fun of it because that's the kind of songs he makes fun of, but his girlfriend would love it. So.
Top down on the freeway with the song on replay, trying to take it easy. You remind me of a beach day, tanning in the sun rays, swimming with the stingrays.
My rating is not going to go with my feedback at all. I give this like an 8 because of potential. I absolutely love the guitar in there. The guitar, when it faded off at the end, I needed to hear more. I'm kind of angry that I didn't hear more. Like, the potential that the song has makes it awesome. I think it's very, maybe relatable is the wrong word, but it's trying to relate to what we want to do. You know, like, people kind of want to relax. I could listen to this when I'm driving with my windows down, sun's going up, you know. The commentary is more so, the guitar is awesome, I love it. In the intro, I really wish it rang out more. I think the vocals came in really early. I didn't expect that. There needs to be more space there. Maybe more build. I'm noticing a pattern in the songs where there's a tiny intro, and then the vocals are just there. And I think that juxtaposition is very harsh. The chorus is very strong. Everything else felt like it was written to fill the space that wasn't the chorus. I mean that lyrically, and I also mean that musicality-wise. About 40 seconds in, the percussion just pulled away and went back, but there was no other energy change, and that confused me because I was trying to follow what the percussion was doing. I think overall, this song has a lot of good potential, and I would love to hear this song. I would buy it, and I would play it. I don't think it has a lot of performance value, but I could see people going to a show to kind of just sway and sing to it. The mix and master is pretty cool. I wish there was more to this song than what it was. And I need that guitar to be more forward, I think, or some type of element that implements that guitar.
I give this song a 7 out of 10. I feel like it was a really catchy chorus, and I really thought that was really good. I think though I think the chorus was really like the hitter where it was like, okay, the chorus is like a 10 out of 10. So I think that the rest of the song, like all the verses need to be completely scrapped and rework. I just think there was a lot of empty space. I feel like the verses didn't add anything to the song at all. But the chorus was a hitter. I was like, even I would listen to this. I don't even really listen to pop music, but I would definitely play this song. And at first, I thought it sounded just like Miley Cyrus. But as the song continued, I feel like she brought like her own vibe to where she could differentiate from other pop artists. I just think that the verses were not it.
Yeah, I'd probably give this song an 8. I love the wordplay within the hook and kind of like the narrative, like the beach day and kind of what she's relating it to. I also like the production. I felt like the guitar and the accompaniment really matched the theme of the song. And I thought the energy was enough. I thought passion was enough. My only thing, I thought this was a very original idea. I don't think I've heard anything like this. I really liked that. I think this song probably has the most replay value out of all of the other songs. I think it probably because the hook is so strong and the length of the song kind of leaves you wanting more. Despite that, I do feel like the song is somewhat incomplete, contrary to what everybody else has been saying. Like they feel like it's empty or something's just not there. I definitely feel like there's just something that can be like redone or added, but I'm just not quite sure what that might be.
Okay. I think Beach Days has, even though she's 17, I think it does have a little sexy undertone. I think it is vibey. I feel like I've heard a record like this before, but not in the same tone. So I feel like her tone makes the record unique. This is a record I would buy. I would definitely love to hear it on the radio. This is something like if I was driving and it played, I would definitely be like, okay, can they play this again? It puts me in a freeing mood. It's just like you feeling yourself. It kind of puts you in a cocky mood too. You know what I mean? Like you just start feeling yourself. And this is definitely a song that I feel like you could also play in the gym when you're trying to get that body right, simply because it's talking about beach days. You know what I mean? And that correlates with bikinis and blah, blah, blah. I do feel like it is manufactured, but it's not bad. I really like it. I would rate it. I give it a 9 out of 10.
I would definitely give it a 9 out of 10. I like music that I can relate to. So if I'm cruising down, got the top down, it's just cool. It's a chill vibe. I think that most of her songs that so far that we've listened to could use a collab. And, you know, every once in a while you need a collab to get you out there and get you up there. So I think a dope collab would really put her over the top with this one, but I like it.
A 9.6 out of 10. What I think they could have added was a rapper, and I think that this could be like a kids bop kind of song to me, because I think kids will love to hear this, and I would love to buy this because I'd be cruising all day, just doing my stuff, and overall I really like it.
I'm simple, not hard to think of you. I'm super quiet, but my heart beats so loud. Look out the window, see my garden's not too far. Open my eyes and see every single star. I can't blame gravity.
Very well done. I'd say a 6 out of 10. In the beginning, I thought Work by Iggy Azalea was going to start playing. Walk a Mile, My Louis Vuittons immediately is what came to my mind, the chord progression there. The tempo got really weird towards the 75% mark, but finished out well. The song's been done a million times, from John Mayer to whoever to the movies. Hit the scientific concepts excellent. So I think, yeah.
I would go 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. For what it is, you know, what the lane it is, I feel like she hit it right on the head. The lyrics are great. The hook, I got kind of like a Nicki Minaj when she's in her pop bag. Like, she might do something like that. Sound quality, 10 out of 10. For the energy, it's like a festival, clean house, kids movie, love song, sync record. Think about a Jason Derulo feature or something like that on that.
Yeah, I would say this record is somewhere between like a 7 and an 8 for me. I think the hook and the lyrics are super catchy. I really like that this song, the direction that I was looking for, I feel like in Enough, I believe, where that was the one I was saying kind of built up to nothing. I feel like this was the complete opposite. Like, this song kind of started one way and then kind of built up to something that I didn't really expect, and I really enjoyed that. I even enjoyed like the little like details and kind of the ways that she kind of like differ like the song in like certain sections. So like in like the pre-hook, the second pre-hook, like the male ooze in the background, I really enjoyed that detail. Only thing that I wasn't really fond of, like, I think we're starting to see a trend of, I think like she introduces the vocals a little too soon in a lot of the songs. I would have loved to kind of hear the instrumentation build a little bit more before hearing her vocals, but I don't think it was the worst thing in the world, but that's kind of like my only critique. I think most of the song is done pretty well.
I gave this one a 7 out of 10. I pretty much have the same critiques in this one that I had in the other few songs. I feel like she could tone down the auto-tune. I just feel like sometimes it doesn't hit the mark. I also think that in this song specifically, she could use like a little bit more vocal inflection. I felt like we were hearing a lot of the same notes, specifically just like I don't know. It just kind of like made it drag a little bit. Whereas I feel like if she would have had a bit more range in where she like took the song, it would have gave it like more flow, and I would have resonated with a little bit more. I felt like this song gave me like the same like Barbie movie vibe. It was upbeat. It was cute. That was it. I wouldn't buy it, but it wasn't bad. I liked it.
It gave me very Disney vibes. So it's cute. I think it would be a great Disney hit in a movie, but would I buy it? No. This was my least favorite.
I don't really like the song. 5.7 out of 10.
5.7, okay.
I give it a 7 out of 10. I like the song, but like she said, I think it's like a Disney Channel song, because I feel like it'll have like a high school setting, especially like a show called Liv and Maddie. I feel like it'll really go well with that show. I don't think I would buy it or hear it live, but it's a good song.
Yeah, I give it a 6 out of 10. Mostly, 2 of those points are because of the build. The build was awesome, but it didn't lead where I wanted it to, and maybe that's a me issue. It felt like the build had so much tension or I keep saying the word build, but there was a lot of tension there, and then it didn't feel like it resolved. It felt like it just went away. I feel like you can do something more with that with the chorus. It did not hit how I thought it was going to. It's not very memorable. Even though I think the song quality is better than some other songs that we heard, I think this is the one I like the least. The intro is very harsh and the bass is way too heavy. I don't know if it does change or if just other things being introduced drown it out. The harmonics were really cool, or harmonics, the harmonies for this piece, like the backing vocals, I think didn't take away, which has been a consistent note for me with the other songs. My main problem with the song is the auto-tune and the fact that it built at the end, and I thought there was going to be like a rapper or an EDM section, some type of high energy thing happening at the end, and it just didn't. I didn't like that at all. I felt it pulled away from what she's trying to do with the song. It showed off her vocal strength, but the lyrics felt confusing and manufactured. I don't like the premise of the song at all, but the musicality's nice. Again, I love the build, but I think this is her worst song. The one I liked the least out of the 6.
Okay, guys, so now that we've listened to all the songs, could you all please rate the songs in order from like best to least favorite? So let's go around and share those songs if you have them ready right now.
The song that I would prefer to be put out as is was Battlefield. However, I think with rework, Beach Days was really good, and I think that should be, but I think it needs to be reworked a little bit. And the song that I feel like should never see the light of day is Enough. I didn't like that one.
So I believe our favorite, which Beach Days, and our least was Gravity.
My top was Battlefield, mostly. Less because it's the genre of music that I like more, but because I think that I could hear that released now without editing it, and I'd be like, okay, fine. You know, I agree with the Beach Day being releasable if they fixed it. I think quality-wise, it speaks to what seems like her sound and speaks to her voice very well. It shows her range very well. People who would hear Beach Days once fixed would check out her other music. I think when people hear Battlefield, they'll be like, that's cool. I'm not sure if they'd check out her other music. So Beach Days, once it's fixed, I think Battlefield can just be released now and it's okay, that's a song. The other 4, I actually just I don't have a rating. I think they all just kind of fit in the same. It's not very memorable. I don't like it very much. It's kind of already overdone. Dreamer's the only one that was better than the other 3, mostly because it felt the most produced and finished, but it also felt the most manufactured and the one with the least passion for me. I think the other 4 shouldn't be released as is. They need serious reworking.
Arcade, it was an outlier, and I think for good reason. All the others sounded almost exactly the same. If I were not drinking Powerade, I would think they're the same song. Yeah, I think she needs to find her sound, and if that is an arcade vibe, definitely go with that.
I think my favorites from this session were definitely Battlefield or Beach Days. I could definitely see those being the most ready to be dropped as singles. Contrary to that, I was not a big fan of Enough. I just didn't really see the potential in that one.
Okay, number 1 for me is Battlefield. I feel like that's definitely ready to be released for when like people are having an amazing time, or when the change of events are getting ready to happen and it's about to get chaotic. Like I could see that definitely going in a movie. Well, placing in a movie. Okay, then number 2 is Beach Days. I'll give it a 9 out of 10. It's really vibey. Definitely something I will listen to. Like in my everyday. Battlefield, I probably won't listen to every day, but I do think it's the best. But Beach Days, I can definitely listen to that like almost every day. Enough is number 3. I give that a 3 out of 10. Oh wait, I lied. 1 is Battlefield, 2 is Beach Days, 3 is Dreamer. I give that a 4 out of 10. 5 is Gravity. I give that a 1. And 6.
How y'all doing?
Okay, here you go.
We like her.
Oh, it was cool.
Yeah, well, here she is.
Oh, I get a mic. Fun. Hi, I'm Sydney B. I've been recording since I was maybe like 14. So actually, is this on?
It's on. It's just going up.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, most of the songs that you heard, I actually did not record as 17. I recorded them when I was 14 and 15. My sound has changed a lot since then, but we're trying to get these out before I make more stuff. So just try to get the stuff that is done out. I agree with a lot of the stuff you said, and I definitely agree a lot of it needs reworking, especially listening to it back, especially because I did all those when I was much younger. So But yeah, but I'm really happy that Battlefield was your favorite because it's also my favorite. So
Hello, Sydney. I
Hello.
think you're extremely talented.
Thank you.
I have a 17-year-old brother I keep mentioning who would love your music but also hate it because he's a boy. What is up
Makes
with
sense.
Arcade? Because I love it.
Thank you. So that's actually a more recent song.
Okay.
That one was not. That one's actually not done. It's not mixed or mastered. It's rough.
Well, it
rough
sounds amazing
edit.
for rough.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's like the first round of anything done with it. So that one, I don't know how I feel about it, just because I don't know if that's, because I feel like if I go with that song, that's the direction that I would go in my music, and I don't know that I want that to be my direction.
Right.
So that one is kind of more of like an experiment song. if
Okay,
you
it
will.
sounded very experimental,
Yeah,
which I
that's
really
kinda what
liked.
it was.
Thank you, Sydney. You're awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
This is like a plug-in for when audio gets released. What platforms can we find you on? Do you have any music released currently?
Yes, so I have one single release called Beautiful, and it's on Spotify, Apple Music, really all the musics. And then I have Instagram, it's called I Am Cindy B Official, and then I also have TikTok, and then website and YouTube. And I actually have one music video out too for that song. So that one is, I think, around 90-something thousand views, which is super exciting. So yeah.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
I also have one more question, sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm curious about your lyric, like the way that you tackle writing lyrics. Do you come with the title and then the idea, or how does that
Yeah,
work for you?
so that one, so especially when a lot of these songs were written, I didn't really know how to write music at that point. So a lot of it was kind of my producer just saying like, what do you want to write about today? And I'd be like, I have no idea what I want to write about today. And so then we kind of have to like talk about it, and then he would kind of put me in the right direction, and then I would start putting my input in. And so like the more that I've grown, the more that they're actually my lyrics and less my producer's. But at the time these were written, a lot of it was like my producer taking what my ideas were and what I said and kind of writing lyrics based off of it. So I think like the more recent songs and like the more like when I release newer songs, those will kind of be more my words and less their words.
Of course. Well, love your sound.
Okay, so Battlefield is my favorite.
Me
I
too.
give that one a 10 out of 10.
Thank you.
I love everything about that song. So question, I feel like Beach Days was different. So when you
Yes.
recorded that, what was the vibe like in the studio with Battlefield and Beach Days? It's two different sounds.
Yeah.
So
Battlefield actually was written the second time I had ever walked into a studio. And then we re-recorded it probably a year later. So that one I think was re-recorded when I was maybe 15. So that one was kind of like the producer kind of trying to figure out who I was and what I liked. And so a lot of adults kind of say I'm like an old soul, I guess. So I really like a lot of things from like the 80s and things like that. And so that's kind of like what you guys said, Pat Benatar, we kind of tapped into her a lot. And so I really love that song because of that. And so maybe that's where more of my songs will go, but I
like
don't know
Beach
yet.
Days or Battlefield?
Battlefield. And then Beach Days was when I was 15, and it was actually both my producers that I work with were both in here, and they were writing it together. And so I think that one is why it has such a different feeling, is because it's three creative minds like working together instead of just two, because both producers that I've worked with have different sounds too, and so it combined their sounds and then me as well into one. So that's probably why.
So I think you have a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
And I just want to tell you that I appreciate appropriate music, especially for, children who are going to be listening to it, like my daughter.
Right.
You know, and she was like, oh, I love this. This is something that I could feel free, that she goes in her room and she listens to, and she's not coming out trying to kill the world. So I personally, as a parent and as an adult, really appreciate that. So I hope you just continue to do what you're supposed to do. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
And we loved it. Did you love it?
I loved it very much.
Oh, thank you. That makes me so happy.
Where in Atlanta are you from, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, no, I'm from the Swanee area, so.
Okay, I'm from Buford, right by the Mall of Georgia.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I went to Gwinnett Online campus, but I was zoned for Mountain View. I was the weirdo. But that's okay, because I graduated from UGA ultimately.
That's cool.
Which beach is Beach Days about?
For me, it's Amelia Island. I love it
Okay,
there. We
love
go there a
that.
lot.
Love that, Sydney. Keep up the great work.
Thank you.
Okay, Cindy B, I have one more question.
Yeah.
Out of all these records, you said Battlefield's your favorite. Which one is your least favorite? Do you have one?
I
have a few. Let me think.
And then
through.
why?
I would say actually arcade, but maybe I would like it better if it was like more finished. But like a lot of your guys' critiques on arcade were the exact same critiques that I had on it too. It felt like a very random switch in the middle for me too. Like re-listening to it, I was like, and then you guys said it too. I was like, that is the most random switch ever. And then a lot of it too, like a lot of you guys said like lack of emotion, and some of them like enough. Also 100% agree, because at that point I didn't know how to sing with emotion or passion, which I've definitely gotten much better at now. So I forgot what the other songs are. What's another song?
You have Gravity, Dreamer.
Gravity. Oh, Dreamer. Yeah, Dreamer, I agree with what you guys said on that one too, because I like that one to an extent, but I think I could do more with it. And then Gravity, I like that song, but I also like your guys' critiques because I definitely think that it could go somewhere more than where it goes. So I agree with everything you said, but my least favorite is probably Enough in Arcade. So yeah.
I'm Scott, and I'm Sydney's father, and I've been watching her on this journey, and I really appreciate how honest and articulate and in-depth your critiques were. It was really helpful for us, and you know, we were up there nodding the whole, because we were listening to your critiques about it. We were nodding the whole time because we've had these same conversations in the past. And, you know, Gravity, I think I don't like it at all in its current state, but I think it has such potential. I mean, the other thing too is I remember talking early on about, you know, Sydney's range. Like a lot of these songs don't really show her range. And, you know, just talking to producers and things like that. Yeah, just talking to producers and things, they were just like,
I know one.
It has to do with her age and other things. So that's the one thing that I think is really impressive about her voice, is she's very rangy. And I would like to see her music kind of, you know, show the Whitney side, you know, being able to get up there and everybody kind of.
That's a big name.
Yeah, but I really like it. So anyway, I thank you guys for participating today.
I just have a question. What drew you to pop music as opposed to other genres like R&B or country or, you know, something else?
It's not gonna lie, I've thought about country a lot. I really like country music. I think the thing that drew me to pop was kind of just like the freedom of expression and differences in style, because pop is such like a wide range of what you can do with it. And I think that's why I picked it initially, is because I didn't really know what I wanted my sound to be, and I'm still searching for that sound too, so like it might change. My next album could be country, who knows? So I think that's probably why I initially picked it over other things. And then it's also like a lot of you guys said Disney, which makes a lot of sense because I watched a lot of Disney Channel as a kid. So I think that's probably where a lot of that is coming from too. So one of you also said Liv and Maddie, and that was like my favorite show as a kid. So yeah, so that's probably where a lot of that comes from. So I think that's probably why I initially went with pop, is to kind of give me the freedom to like figure out what I'm doing, you know? So
Sydney, your top 3 musical inspirations, go.
Okay, I really like Meghan Trainor right now. Another one, oh, this is so hard. I really like Carrie Underwood, like a lot. Like I love her.
Yes.
And she also switches back and forth from pop to country. So maybe I just do that too. And then my last one, I feel like, I don't know, I've been listening to Ed Sheeran, which is kind of random for me, but I really like Ed Sheeran.
Nah, Gravity, you was talking about going from pop to country. I heard it kind of shift to a potential country song, you know, so.
I have done that with, I feel like it was one of the songs you listened to. Oh no, it wasn't. But there was this one song where it started as pop and then we re-recorded it as country, and that one sounded really stupid. But maybe Gravity might sound really good like that.
I noticed that, so yeah, maybe you could do it.
Thank you.
Okay, so just want to thank everybody for coming out and your participation. It was definitely a very in-depth conversation. So thank you all for being into it and giving her the feedback she needs to go back and get in the field.